Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to go over with you the Apple technology options. First, you may have remembered I looked at this about 6 months ago, late December 2015. Now, things have progressed since then. I've got WX widgets on C++ working just fine. Talking to a guy named Ivan has inspired me to say, well, maybe you should look at the mobile stuff again and see where everything's at. So let's just talk about iOS versus Android. Android itself is highly insecure. I don't trust it. A lot of problems with that as a platform to deploy a trading system off of or any kind of component. I just don't trust Android. But then again, there's iOS from Apple, which obviously covers off iPads, iPhones, watches, and even the TV product. The Xcode, if you come under my playlist, come under the this Apple Tech option, you'll find all the Xcode and all my experimentation that I've played with up until this point. And then there's this video I put out back in December, as I said, 2015, where I compared the two probably leading at the time charting packages for potential front end development with specific to financial charts and to be deployed on iOS devices. So I've looked at these. You can watch this video, and since then, being in July now, July 5th, what we've got here is we've got some other players I've not really talked about. There is from Modulus FE, Financial Engineering. They've had a chart edition done in Objective-C. I mean, that might have been good up until a few years ago before Apple brought out Swift. And it looks good, but I don't think it's going to be worth considering. There is also a new introduction in the market from SciCharts, which is actually came out this morning. Looks good. All these packages are around $900 for everything. This one's not too bad, but again, you want only to deal with iOS Swift, not Objective-C. So here under SciChart, the only options you really have is the candlestick for SciChart. It's a fairly new package, so there's not a lot of sophisticated stuff that you get with it because it is fairly new. But then again, we've got nChart that I've shown in this video here, and this one's still probably my favorite right now. Oh, and there's also Infragistics as well. They're looking pretty good, but they're Objective-C, and they have something called compatible with Swift, and to me that's kind of not comforting. So Infragistics probably won't do it as well. But with nChart, here for iOS, we have our gallery. We've talked about this in the video. We've got all the advanced 3D charts that you'd want. You could kind of get out of the similarity with other advanced charting packages I've looked at. But then again, we've got this one here for, or this one for pricing lines. So that's not bad. Just see what else we've got here. Anything to do with financial. I think there was some specific ones, sort of. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so this would be a typical candlestick. OHLC, 3D one for OHLC. Again there. And then we have this, which is series. This one as well. So there's some good ones. I'm wondering if you can overlay them. But again, these are available in Swift. Okay, as far as I could tell, there's 3D, 2D. nChart has friendly Objective-C and Swift API. I don't care about Xamarin, but the Swift API is what I'm specifically after using Xcode. So that's kind of what I'm after. Now, where it gets really interesting is you get different layouts. We've gone through this. Probably more for advanced integration of when you get more into more advanced math using quant techniques. But here's the pricing. You get a buy now. You've got the 3D chart. It's fairly affordable to just get started at $4.99, and then with the Pro you get the 3D. And again, there's no perpetual, but you do have to probably pay for support. I'm assuming at some point. All right, so there's that. Now this is where it gets interesting. From the same company, we have a product called NGrid. Let me just show you that one. NGrid is probably a good combination between the two. So when you look at a chart or a grid really of all the different, no different in a spreadsheet, you get all that built in. There's some better presentations here. Here we have a look of different themes. And then this is where it gets kind of interesting, where you get with these conditional formatting. So obviously if you hit a certain range, it changes color. That could be useful. Spark lines, which are really good for movement patterns in one column. That would be very useful. And this is the most useful one, is the growth indicators. See here you have, let me just show, I can't remember. Oh, I had it loaded up on my app or my iPhone, so can't show you that. But this is very useful, these growth indicators, where you can put in little green and red arrows. So combined with these two components, they'd be very useful. How much they cost? You can get a bundle combination for $9.99, so it includes NChart for iOS Pro with the NGrid for $1,000. That's a pretty good deal, I think, considering what I'm looking at. And typically, as I said, with the NGrid, that is very useful for the tabular. So again, this is not final, but this is something I'm looking at, maybe to be deployed onto an iPad Pro. And the other big category is, these are just ideas. This type of system would only be for my use. It would not be redistributed to my members for public use, just for myself. So that would be one of my lead applications for my internal use when I transition to a fully data analytics service. So that's what I'm thinking of. But again, just thinking. Hopefully I'll also help you out for some ideas.